Hi, YouTube. We might get interrupted, but I'll just deal with it as it comes. So, I made a beautiful turkey yesterday. I made instant mashed potatoes and instant stuffing, but coleslaw. So we have mashed potatoes, gravy, coleslaw, cranberries, turkey, candied yams. The yams were, or sweet potatoes were, I baked them first, real potatoes, so they weren't out of a can. So I had a really busy day and a couple loads of dishes, and still one more I have to start up, but I thought I'll do that after I talk so we don't have all the noise. So, yeah, excuse me. And it was a really late night. Doug was working out in the shop till late, and uh, yeah, so it was a hard day yesterday. Not unpleasant, just hard, you know. But I have this gnawing feeling, like somebody's gnawing on me. But something bad, like really something bad is going on. I mean, worse than normal, or they're planning something really horrible, maybe towards somebody I love or um, care about, or something like that. I don't know. It's just something weird, or somebody that I care about is going through some really bad things. I'm not sure, but that's just a feeling that I've had probably for about the last week, kind of strong like that. So yeah, it's I don't know. I really don't know, but it's just a feeling I have. Does anybody else have that feeling, or is it just, well, of course you probably do, because this world is so messed up the way it is. Who can feel peaceful? I mean, yeah, we have the inner peace of knowing God loves us, but with all the chaos in the world, it's like it is hard to deal with, or hard to digest. Unlike my turkey, that was really easy to digest. I didn't really eat too much more than I normally would. I'm a pretty big eater, but I only eat once a day, so I have a normal meal, probably the size that a small man would eat 3 times a day, maybe, and I eat it once a day usually. I might, um, sorry, I disappeared. I'm back. Uh, yeah, it takes energy to run my body. So whatever, I've never really worried too much in that area, not since I was a kid, because I wasn't really fed too healthy. So, but once I got on my own, I was able to eat like I wanted to, and that made a world of difference. And I haven't ever really been a big one on like on all the junk food stuff. I do occasionally have some, but then when I've had enough, I tell myself, okay, it's time to do something a little bit different here. And so this way I do it. I have a few days I call my pig out days. I eat whatever I want, not all day, like I say, once a day. I eat whatever I want, and then I really take care of myself all the other days, or pretty much like that. And that's how I stay strong. So, yeah, and you know what? People really do hate me for that shit. It's like, how do you do that? Well, this is how I do it. You know. So, anyway, Now I'm kind of glad when people hate me. It's like, you hate me? Cool, because I don't like you much either. So we have that in common, you know? I'd be a liar if I said I didn't have a great amount of dislike for a lot of people. Um, I'd be a liar. And that's just not my thing, you know? It's like, whatever, you know? I don't care whoever says what anymore. I'm sticking to what God tells me in my heart, and nothing is going to sway me in another direction ever. They just can't, you know? All their shenanigans, everything they try, anything they say, it's like, too bad. Too bad it doesn't work on me. Go try somebody else. In fact, like the Satanists, when you all agree on one thing, so mote it be with your crap, it is never going to be. You've just been living in la la land this whole time, thinking that your miserable butts are getting its way, and you're not. You just are pretending, you know? And why would a person want to pretend? You know, it's like if I was a Satanist, holy shit, man, I'd be doing that shit like right up in your face. I mean, not like these like um what would it be, covert, like undercover. No, I'd be like right up. I'm not that they're not gonna do that anyway and haven't been doing that little by little, but I would have just done it right from the start. I'd be like, I'm not this, but if I were, I'd be like, this is me. And if you don't like it, that's just too damn bad because I'm in control. If I was Satan, that's the way I'd roll, you know? So, whatever. And I've heard it said that he's just a copycat of God. In some respects, he is, but there's other things that God would never do that he does. So, yeah, he can copy and mimic things, but he's not very good at that either. So, yeah. Um, I'm just living off my intuition and my instincts and how I was raised and what I was taught. Not by the ones I didn't trust. I had some people in my life with a great amount of knowledge that I had to learn so I'd know what I was talking about. So they couldn't sway me. So they could not use my instincts and intuition for their benefit. And that's if you have any type of willpower that they want to get a hold of, that's what they'll try everything, right down to trying to injure or poison or all of the above or hurt your children. That's usually what they do. They first go after your child or people that you love and annihilate them, and then usually the people that you love kind of will distance themselves and bow to the filth because they're weak like that. If they're not really, really super warriors for God, they'll bow, and you're the one who ultimately really ends up suffering because you see what is happening and they don't. Even if you try and warn them, they're not really going to listen to you, if you get my drift, you know. It's like a lot of people might listen to me and think, well, um, that woman has no idea. Well, if you've been pampered enough to think that by looking in my eyes, and you can honestly say that after looking in my eyes, you have been pampered, and I'm not even envious of it. I know for a fact that my rewards will come, and God's promise, not Satan's promises. I already have plenty of them waiting on the sidelines. It's like you just wait over there, and while you're over there, hold your breath too, because I would like to see that. But then again, they say if you don't get air to your brain, it could stop functioning. That might not be good for some people. And they are having problems with that anyway. So, at least some people I know. Some people I know really literally have um, the mindset of not wanting to be in their right mind. Like they literally feel better when they're disconnected. That's how hard the spirit of Satan has control on them. Like they're literally brain dead, or like they say, dead from the neck up, you know. And I can't really communicate. I'm just sick of trying to find people, real people, that think deeper than what's going on in the government. Or, I mean, I care to a certain extent, but it really isn't one of my things. I mean, like I say, I keep a track what's going on, but it's all a ploy to take your attention away from what God's trying to teach everybody in their hearts. So everything that these people do, like if they're watching their football games or, and I'm not putting nobody down, I'm just telling like it is, you know, even kids in school and the upsets and all the mandates or whatever, all this stuff that's going on, keeping you from the Word of God. And it's not something you can prove by memorizing verses and reading every day. I mean, I'm not saying that isn't a good thing. If you don't have a thorough understanding and you do have learning to do, um, absolutely read on, you know. But once you get the story, I mean, to memorize scriptures and put them out there for people like you're one of God's beloved because you can memorize a verse, that makes me sick. I'm just not into that. I mean, yeah, if I remember one and it's one of my favorites, but even after my stroke, it got worse like that. It's like to pull up my memory hurts a little more, and it really physically does, and it'll make me like sick. It's just like the other day, I made a video and I misspelt what I wanted to spell on there. So I had to edit the video. And last night I made that one, and my dyslexia took control of the last sentence. I spat it out just perfect until I got to that last thing and I read it wrong. Um, Usually my dyslexia is with numbers, but when it's words, I know I'm really tired, and that's what was going on there. So I'm not into pain, and I know the Word of God, and it is written on everybody's hearts. And I'll say it again. There's more and more people out there. It seems to me pushing like if you don't say the magic words, you're not going to heaven. When it says nobody's getting to the Father, you know, except through me. That's what Christ says. Um, it's true. So on the last day, you know who Christ is, and you're going to make your decision. If you didn't know who he was before that, what if you knew God before you knew Christ? What then? There, you know, there's different kinds of scenarios in every direction of that, like that. So these people out there, you know, or there's even people that believe like the minute somebody turns 13 years old, they're an adult in their church, and if they haven't repented, they're going to hell. It's like, maybe that's true. Maybe it is. I know when I became a member of my church, I was 15, but I started my confirmation classes at 12, and it took all those years to actually really study the Bible. But then when I was 15, that's when I got into languages, and that's when I really learned what was going on, and I was pretty much appalled. Um, yeah, it it was pretty difficult to understand that most, if not all, of the major religions on the planet are used to control people, and it has nothing to do with God at all. The Zionist churches, they're say God cannot be found in the churches. Christ is not in the churches, and that is in the scriptures. Anything I tell you, you can type it in, Google it, um, if you want the closest representation and can understand a little bit of Old English. I suggest the King James Bible. I've suggested really the learning tools to get the true understanding in there. And I don't know. That's all I can tell you. It's if the don't if please look up anything I say if you have any doubt whatsoever. Search for it. If you don't find what I'm saying right away, don't give up. That'd be like giving up on me. I'm a good friend. Don't give up on me. That wouldn't be cool for you or me. So don't give up. Keep searching. I mean, even if it's not in the same day, give it a day's rest. This is what I used to do. If I would get frustrated with my studies, I'd give it a break and then go back to it. So, and there was some times where I wasn't even given a choice of having a break. It was just one thing right after another. Um, Information just crammed into my brain that I had to learn. I had to. I didn't have a choice. And I wanted to learn everything that I could. So I had a great understanding of what's going on in these times that we're in. So the bottom line is I know people that want to throw out the words communism and socialism and the Republic of China, these type of things, and what they're trying to introduce into our lives and the rule that they want over us. It boils down to Satanists. It doesn't matter what group they're affiliated with or what country, because they're all working together against the people of God. And if they can control us, they can control their future for their offsprings that will in turn keep hurting our offsprings in the future. And that's what I'm out here trying to avoid. I mean, I know God wins in the end, but he's not going to win without people standing up for what is right and the truth. And the truth is in the words and in the word. And it really is. And when you read something with your heart, you'll get the meaning out of it, just the feeling. If you're of God and you really have a tender heart, you'll be able to read something without any question of the meaning of it. Excuse me. So yeah. Um it was really cold out last night. It was like 17 degrees plus a wind chill. It was super, super cold. I only saw one kitty out there today, was one I call Roscoe or Rosie. I'm not sure if it's a boy or a girl, but it's a huge cat, black and white. Um, I think the sister to the one I call Nellie, the one that got her leg hurt. Well, anyway, she comes through and sees what's out there to eat, and there was a little out there for her. The rest of their food is in their house. I told her, "You don't have to go away." she just looked at me. It's like, poor little things, you know. Then the neighbor guy was out on the hill with his dogs and his golf cart playing disc golf, and his stupid dog won't even listen to him. It doesn't even mind. It's like, yeah, idiot, you know. But then, yeah, I've said it before. Can't expect the dog to be any smarter than its master. I think that goes for Satanists too. Why Satanists are like dogs? Because they're stupid and they might bite. I think I just got the name from my video. So I don't care. I'm not going to say I like these creatures that don't care who's getting hurt in the world. You know, do I want them hurt? Not yet. I'm getting close. I really am getting close. Oh, if I told you the words I ended my day on, maybe I will. Let me think about that for a minute. But let's just put it this way: to work hard all day for somebody that pretends to show gratitude but really isn't, um, that has a tendency to piss me off. So yeah. Anyway, that's how I ended my day after working really, really hard all day. I got all kinds of thank yous, but I got a super insult. And I guess here I go. I'm telling you. Then I get on my Facebook today, and I had made a friend a couple years ago named Jimmy Peterson. He's a Danish guy, um, probably young enough to be my son. A really nice young gentleman, maybe about 50. So like, kind of um old. I'm old enough to be his mom just about, or whatever. But he had wrote something like spot on in in every way you are, and then put a diamond after it. And I love him as a friend too. If I could hug him, I'd hug him right this second because he's been through hell he doesn't talk about, but I just can sense it. And maybe it's my Danish blood in me. Maybe we're some kind of relative or something. I'm not sure. But Doug went on that post and he wrote spit on underneath when Jimmy had wrote spot on. And so I'm thinking, what, are you spitting on Jimmy or are you spitting on me? It sounded like he was spitting on me, but he would say it was towards Jimmy. So I'm not even going to mention it because I know how his brain works. So I just left it there. See, he'll stay up till about sometimes 3 and 4 in the morning, and then sleep till God knows when. But that's what he does in his spare time, that type of thing. So that's not very cool, you know. And Jimmy, neither one, Jimmy or I, we don't deserve that kind of treatment. And it's really cool when Mr. Peterson makes a video and I can hear him speaking his native language. Plus, he's learned a lot of English from me, and his English has so improved. And to know two languages, that's a sign of intelligence. So it's got to give credit where credit's due. And then if you're just really a sweet person anyway, and you don't get a bad vibe off of somebody when you see them being treated kind of dirty, um, yeah, it doesn't make my day any nicer, you know. But and then it goes back to, like every day I have little things I'm thankful for, and some big things I'm very thankful for, and some things I admittedly, and here I would go being a liar again, if I would say there's many, many things I'm ungrateful for, and you can't convince me that I'm going to say, hey, I'm glad that happened to me, and there's a lesson that came out of that, or maybe there wasn't. These people that you can write anything you want in the world and put it on a meme or a post and pass it around and pretend it's gospel when it isn't, you know? So if you have something that you're ungrateful for, yeah, take it to God. But I do. And I'll say, hey, I don't like this one bit. You can't tell me I'm going to. Thanks anyway. And he's like, you're right, you know? So that's my outlook on that. Like I wrote on a couple places, what if I had an ungrateful day instead of a Thanksgiving day? Would that make me a Satanist? I highly doubt it. You know? It's like, here, I'm going to punch you in your face and you're going to be grateful and you're going to learn a lesson. And God's going to approve of that because everybody says so. So, and you can say whatever you want or think whatever you want. That's totally up to you. I guess that's between me and God how I feel. But I'm just saying, I'm not into lying and I'm not going to sit there every day I'm grateful. Well, if we're going to count the little things or the things like air and food and whatever, of course I'm grateful. But am I walking with a grateful heart every day? Absolutely not. Hell no, I'm not. We're living in chaos. Satan's in charge of everything till his time is up. And I do believe that time is going to be around January, around the beginning of the year, maybe going into February. We might see some pretty big changes. Or I might. Maybe it's just because I always feel better when it's around my birthday. Of course, last year on my birthday, my cat died. Then my horse died. Then my dog died. So, nah, last year wasn't a very good year for all that. But I don't know. But I just wanted to tell you that I don't walk every day with a grateful heart. I mean, I'm happy. I have God in my heart, and I have people that I love and people that I don't love. I love them on a human level. I wouldn't hurt anybody, you know, and I wish them well. I wish them to have God in their life so they don't hurt other people. But as far as wanting to have some people around me in my life, okay, here's another thing. There's a meme that said something like truly forgiving. You can forgive and move on. Can you? Huh. I forgive people, but I really haven't moved on. Not that I think about it on a daily basis or anything like that. There's people, it's not total forgiveness. That's what I'm trying to say. I'd be a liar if I said I totally forgave these people because I don't. I believe with all my heart we are in the times where it's called righteous judgment and righteous anger. And I'm not angry like seething, raging. It's just like, no, I don't forgive what you did. And no, you're not going to teach the next generation to do them type of things. And I love you, but that's the way it is. And I'm not putting up with it. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it. And I'm not approving of it. And no, you're not teaching me no lessons. It's time for me to teach you some flipping lessons. And the things that have been written out of the Bible and things that have been put back in have led people down a path of hell. and I'm out here stopping this shit with all my heart. If I can stop that attitude of being passive towards pieces of shit, you know, if somebody's a shitty person, tell them they are. That then you can forgive them. I forgive you up to this point. Is that total forgiveness? If you're not going to invite them back in your house and sit down and dine with them, no, you haven't moved on, and no, it isn't total forgiveness. That's where I'm at. It's like I forgive them up to that point. You see? If you can say that you've totally forgave somebody, but not want them in your life, that's what this one meme said, then you haven't totally forgiven them. Isn't that correct? That's my point. So, well, everybody, I'm going to let you go on that note because I really needed to get that out. That's an important point. So don't let these memes and people and um, false teachings, if it doesn't set right and doesn't sound real, it isn't, you know. So, okay. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Thank you for joining me. I'll be back.